Hi guys, this is Soulstar Divine Feminine. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a fellow subscriber, returning, yes, I am back from the wilderness. And today I am doing a reading on the beautiful, talented musician called Amy Winehouse. I think I mentioned her briefly in maybe my wealth spell bread recipe or possibly another reading that I've done. Amy's soul has been speaking to me and singing out to me and talking to me for, I think, I want to say about the 4 months now, to be honest. And at first I didn't know what was going on, and I thought it was just because of a connection and me getting activated to actually sing and awaken my throat chakra and all this stuff. And then I started doing my singing, and if you guys saw my One Girl like 20 Voices video or something that I did, which is linked down below, as soon as I started singing Amy Winehouse, this beautiful, powerful essence just came from my being. And there's orbs that I caught on camera as well. You'll have to check out like my singing entertainment channel for that. But so she's been connecting with me for quite some time now, on a deeper, more spiritual level that I'm consciously aware of hearing her and seeing her, like outside of just enjoying and listening to her music. She's here with me now. Her spirit's been here with me. We've tried to do this session a few times in the last couple of weeks, and I feel like today is finally the day. So if you guys don't know who Amy Winehouse is, she's an amazing, talented musician. She is from the UK, London. She's from the UK like me, and she's had a very, I guess, speculated life. As soon as she rose to fame and she started to become a really, really big known artist, then everyone suddenly wanted to know her. But I remember her from when she first started out, and she was singing some of my favorite songs like F Me Pumps. I don't know if I can swear in my YouTube videos anymore, but she sings a song called F Me Pumps, and that's what she's been singing to me literally just before I turn on this camera. I don't want to like butcher the song, but even though I feel like she's urging me to sing it to you guys because she's singing in my ear right now. But you guys, I will link that down below in the description. If you guys know Amy, yeah, she does a lot of songs about her love life, about her pain, her trials and tribulations that she's had with her boyfriends. And as soon as she did her massive Beehive, or actually no, when she came back out with the song Rehab, that's what then set her off to like everyone all of a sudden knew who she was. Like she wasn't just someone that only a few of the collective knew who she was. Everyone knew her. And then as soon as she did the Beehive, then every single girl wanted to be her and dressed up like her, the tattoos on the arm and everything. Now, a lot of us have been able to be blessed by Amy's music. And she has a really powerful voice and an amazing soul. And unfortunately, in this life, there was a lot of karmic cycles that were playing out that she was a part of. And it did end and disrupt basically what she was doing. A lot of people did find it shocking that really knew her. And some people didn't find it shocking at all and were trying to, you know, prevent this from happening. I've been asking a lot of questions already to Amy, like, you know, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about your music? Do you want to talk about your life here? Do you want to talk about what it's like on the other side? Do you want to talk about what you've been doing if you're going to come back in as another reincarnation? What were you originally before? I just saw... Sorry, okay. I don't know if I caught that on camera. If you guys are psychic or more tapped into your intuitive abilities that we all have, please tell me if you just saw that manifestation that just appeared right there. Wow, okay. I know I'm gonna have to edit this video because there's so much information coming in. What was I even saying? Right, I've been asking her loads of questions about what she wants to talk about, what she's comfortable sharing, what she wants the collective, what she wants her fans and her supporters to know that are going to end up feeling guided to watch this video. And one of the first things I asked her was, do you want to talk about your life here? She's like, no. Do you want to talk about your music? She's like, only a little bit. And she's repeating this to me right now, but she's saying she wants to talk about what she's been doing over there on the other side. and how she was greeted, who she was greeted by, and what she's been doing to help a lot of people here. And then when I asked her about her death, obviously, which we'll get to much later on, I was asking her if it's an accident, if it was planned, I asked her a lot of those things already. So let's just get straight into it. I have drawn some cards as well, as extra guidance and some more information if I don't feel like I'm fully clear on everything that I'm channeling myself, and just in case you guys wanted to know, as I'm using my clairaudience, my I'm channeling as a medium, and I'm also reading cards as well that she wanted me to pick out. So I'll just show you what I am using in case any of you guys are wondering. I'm using the Atlantis. Sorry if my fingers are dirty, I just had loads of charcoal over my fingers because I was going to light some resin, and I ended up not doing that, and I ended up lighting sage and incense. Anyways, Atlantis Oracle card decks. And what else am I using? Oh my gosh, I so don't remember this. It's a Native American card deck. Shout out to my fellow Navajo tribe, my Navajo people, my Lakota tribe. And then I am using the Mood card deck, if I remember correctly. The Mood card deck. I think I've spoken about this a few times on my channel, how I think it's so amazing. This is actually targeted towards children to help them understand their emotions. I think it's very good for us adults to use because we are overgrown children that still need to deal with our issues. So yeah. Okay, so where do you want to start, Amy? Okay, so Amy wants to start off with what her purpose was to be here, as we know her as, to be Amy Winehouse in the first place. Okay, so basically the way that Amy grew up, okay, so she's saying that she did actually like her childhood. I mean, I know you guys have probably seen loads of documentaries that her dad's done and everything, because that's who's flashing in my mind right now. But she's saying that she did actually like her childhood. It wasn't as she wasn't troubled as people like to make out. Okay, so she's saying that, I don't know why I'm holding this like a wand. She's saying that basically people, especially in the media, and people that she thought were really her friends, certain people that she grew up with and went to school with and stuff, ended up kind of just perpetrating this whole she's a troubled person, has always kind of been, yet she's talented kind of rock star mentality. They tried to just stick it onto her and it never really went away. After a while, this is the thing, she really just wanted to be herself. She liked the fact that she didn't necessarily fit in. She had a very, very dark side of humor. She used to laugh at a lot of things that I feel like a lot of us nowadays would admit that we laugh at. You know, like if you see a child fall over, it's like, oh, cute, but then you'll also probably laugh your ass off, just because it's funny. But she used to love people watching. She still people watches heavily, even more now, because she's definitely much be all, see all, know all, because this is one of her cards that have come out now, that she's really been learning a lot of these lessons, very aware of everything that's been going on from a much higher perspective. But she loves just being herself. She went through a lot of trials and tribulations, especially in her love life and her relationships. Now, however, it became apparent to her that as soon as she started making music, it was this big outlet for her, where she knew she could kind of just express herself in ways that she didn't feel like she could do in normal society settings. Especially with that song, what is it? Oh, Stronger Than Me. Yeah, that's what she's singing in my ear. Okay, she's singing it to me, so okay. You should be stronger than me, but instead you're longer than frozen turkey. I said you don't know what love is, get a grip. Yeah. She started to be able to find ways to express herself where people could really understand her without the instant judgment. She's felt like she's been judged for predominantly most of her life, even before like the super stardom that she ended up having in the last like 2 to 3 years of her life. Before people started pointing out, you know, if she's on something, copying her hairstyles, her becoming a trend, people taking the piss, like she found a way that she felt like she was more empowered. And that's what she continued to do. Now, when she started to initially make music, she did have quite a lot of people in her ear feeding her a lot of doubts and worries about whether her music would be suited to this world at the time that she was coming out with it. And she did she felt quite insecure about this, actually. This is what she's telling me. She basically wanted to show people that you don't have to shake your ass on camera, be super basically nude, and be extra pretty to be able to make it in doing what you're doing. She really wanted to kind of say she wanted to the stereotypes of how people would come about to have a platform this big. And she wanted to be able to show people that they can still show off their talent and be recognized for it without having to adhere to the stereotypes. So she's used to basically seeing a lot of people before her come and go, knowing that they were kind of just empty shells of talentless work, but because they looked the part or acted the part or sounded the part at the time, they would typically get a quicker rise to fame. Now, she never set out for herself to be super famous. She would have much preferred to be able to just basically sing and express herself and be creative in that way for a living whilst still having a life. She never asked for the kind of fame that she got, and she never thought that her being her even more empowered in a different way once she started getting on the beehive and the tattoos and everything. She never thought that the level of stardom would reach this much, to the point where she wouldn't have a life anymore, like Michael Jackson, because that's what she's pointing at right now. It's like she just didn't want that kind of that massive eye on her 24/7, that big brother status. It just was not in her plans. It's not something that she really wanted to do for herself at all. But she had to accept it really quickly. And okay, so after basically as soon as she had her first album with the whole and her other songs like the FU Palms and the Stronger Than Me and everything, she was getting recognized as a talented artist. And that was the kind of the she wanted to be able to get more recognition at that time so that she could have a bigger platform, so she could do a lot more. Because especially when it came to females, she knew that how she felt growing up, she kind of always felt like she never looked like Kate Moss. She never could fit into certain pair of jeans. She never could put her hair in a certain way or have certain colored eyes, or she didn't want to have to fix her chin or her nose or her lips, because when she was younger, she definitely felt because she's showing me so much attention around her nose and her jaw. Yeah, she used to think it was quite manly when she was younger. Yeah, and it's like she's so feisty, Amy. I love her energy. She's so feisty because it's just like the ways in which to deal with people that would be rude to her or pissing her off, really. She learnt very quickly how to kind of have her defenses up and just have some sort of feisty attitude back. So then that way she would filter out that kind of shit that would normally hurt her when she was younger. She learnt how to deal with it by becoming that feisty energy, like giving attitude and like standing her ground in that way. This needs some major tuning. If anyone out there wants to give me some free ukulele lessons one-on-one via Skype, and I can give you some free readings or Reiki or channel messages or any other type of healing, guided meditation in child trauma recovery, etc., please let me know. Email me, because I definitely would like to have one-on-one ukulele lessons. It doesn't have to be in person, and I should still be traveling in the next couple of weeks, fingers crossed, if things still go well. So please let me know. Anyway, so I'm here back again to continue my channeled messages / reading with Amy Winehouse. Yesterday I ended up not continuing in the evening, not just because the lighting was really crap, but also for so many other reasons. Hi guys, I have no idea what the hell just happened there apart from spiritual activity. That's what I'm going to put it down to. I was about to say also there was this amazing / crazy like alien type spaceship / massive star last night that I ended up going outside speaking light language to, activating loads of things with my partner. Yesterday was my birthday's in 2 days, so wait, my birthday's on the 13th of February, which is in 2 days, so yesterday was the 10th. Oh my gosh, wait, was it the 11th? Oh my gosh, my mind is so all over the place. No, let me think. Yes, so that means yesterday was the 10th, today is the 11th, tomorrow is the 12th. Wow, okay, you can tell I'm not good with calendar dates. Anyways, or numbers, even though I'm a trader. But so let's just continue this reading. There's been a lot of spiritual activity going on recently. In my videos, in my day-to-day, my technology has been going absolutely haywire. I know a lot of people are dealing with the supermoon energy and Mercury retrograde coming back in soon, and everything that's been changing around on the planet. I just want to shout out to all the people that are suffering right now. I'm sending you so much love and light and healing and strength. I've been doing so many prayers every single day from everyone in the collective, and obviously the ones that we know about the most from news and social media, like people in China with the coronavirus, the kids in Syria, the Australian wildfires, and it just continues and continues and continues, even though people die, millions of people die every single day, and so much of them never get any justice, and it's so sad. So I'm definitely going to be getting back into doing my missing cases. I've done 2 so far on this channel. I hope you can hear me. The storm that is in the UK right now is actually crazy. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm going to close my window. Wow, it wasn't like this 2 seconds ago. Did you see how we started with the sun out, guys? We started with the sun. Okay, so as I said, the weather's much better today up until that. Oh, sun's out, guns out. Okay, so let's continue with the reading and energy channeling for Miss Amy Winehouse. Now, as I was saying yesterday, or in the first part that you saw of this video, she was putting a lot of her attention onto her nose, her mouth, and her jaw, and basically had to grow up not just really quickly, but also had to deal with the fact that she knew she was very different from the get-go. Like her style, her energy, her personality, what she's interested in, the music, the energy, like the creative energy that comes out of her, what she's interested in was not the same as most people her age or in her peer group, as well as the fact that she looks completely and utterly different. And she ended up using and turning that into her advantage later on with the whole everyone copying her beehive and everything else, the little blonde strip at the front and all that good shit. So we're going to continue doing this. Amy is here with me now, and okay, so she's saying to me that she wants to clarify, that she wants to let everyone know that she never meant to take her own life. She keeps calling everyone darling, like she calls, or I say darling. I'm saying it so poshly right now. I never say it that poshly. I'm always like, yeah, you're right, darling. Typical Londoner, yeah. Camden. So, yeah, she's calling all her fans, supporters, followers, you guys, including myself, darlings. And, she basically wants you to know that she never took you for granted. A lot of the time she felt it hard to deal with the kind of pressure that she felt, and a lot of the anger and frustration came from her wanting to have more time to deal with her heavy emotions that she wasn't dealing with at the time, and sometimes she was abusing it, and sometimes she was completely trying to avoid her own emotions like altogether, and just trying to use certain things as distractions, because she knows that she wasn't a saint. Like, she knows she wasn't a saint in that way, but she never wanted or set out to ever be somebody's role model, like for young little girls, because she used to feel like too many people would be expecting her to do things that it's just not her. the only way she really wanted to inspire people was to really be themselves, and if they have something creative, talented in, or even if they're not, just to have a go and do it, like whether it's like art, drawing, music, acting, singing, dancing, whatever. She just wanted people to really be themselves and to not give a flying out anyone else's opinions. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so she's pointing to me towards this card here, the shaman card. Shout out to my fellow shamans, my Navajo tribe, hey, Lakotas. Anyways, shout out to my fellow shamans. She's pointing me to this card. So let's see. Okay, so she's telling me that a lot of the time when she was earthbound, she's still, what's the best way to put it? Okay, so she's telling me that she's still earthbound now, but she's just in a plane that we can't typically see with our, with our human eyes. If you guys are, clairvoyant, or however you describe yourself, if you've awakened your third eye to the point where you are able to see shadows, forms, colors, or people, or spirits, or essences, or whether it's clairaudient, you just hear them. She's saying that she is still earthbound, but she's just in a plane that we can't necessarily tap into unless we've really awakened that muscle. And even then, okay, so she's saying that she always used to, okay. Right. Okay. So I feel like it's similar to me. I think that's maybe why we're so connected. She's basically saying that she had a lot of abilities herself that were already awakened through a lot of her painful past that she was dealing with. I feel like it started with the first serious boyfriend. Okay, no, she's actually pointing me towards Blake. Okay, so I know I'm not going to do this whole rundown on her lovers and past and everything unless you guys want me to, or if she wants me to be honest, because I only want to share what someone's spirit is really comfortable sharing. Okay, she's literally saying to me, I'm not sure about that, mate. Because she's coming to me in her form of Amy as I know her. I can see, like, let me just get to the point what I was trying to say. She's saying this actually stemmed from when she first got with Blake. And I know those two went back and forth for quite some time. I can't remember right now if they were still together when she died. I'm sure you guys down below will comment and let me know, because I'm sure there'll be some Amy Winehouse fanatics in the comments. But however, she's saying that she had a lot of her own spiritual awakenings, and a lot of them came from pain. The first lot, it came when she was trying to be pushed into rehab, which is before she ever even wrote that song. She did write that song obviously to help her to gain some sort of empowerment and to also work through her emotions, because she found that music was the easiest way for her to work through a lot of emotions, where it would no longer completely and utterly debilitate her, but sometimes she would find herself falling into that kind of healing trap cycle of singing the same song again and again and again and again and again and again on her own before she even started making them public. And sometimes it would just end up keeping her in that same entrapment. And if any of you guys know, in spiritual community, a lot of the time we can fall into a healing trap where we're just only focused on doing all the shadow work, all the shadow work, all the shadow work, and then we just stay there, because then the pain just becomes our best friend, and then we don't want to ever come out back again into the platform, into the light, even though now it's our time. And she's showing me that. So then when she started rising to fame even more, it was hard for her to continue to trust herself, because so many people were not just talking to her in her ear, but she also came to the fact that obviously people are really resonating with these songs heavily, like to the point where she didn't really comprehend that people would resonate with her songs as heavily as they did. She never ever thought that she would have this kind of impact, like that. She keeps reiterating that she never thought that she'd have this kind of impact on people. She knew that she was gifted. She knew that the reason why she always kind of felt like she didn't truly belong with a lot of the people that she grew up around, especially school wise. She always knew she had something different to offer, but she never knew that it would grow to the length that it did. And even now, like the fact that people literally still are reenacting her, people still dress up as her, people still impersonate her and make money from it, and people still dress like her and inspired by her. Like, her energy is very much still here, because she's showing me a flash of when she actually did transform and go into death, but we'll get into that in a minute. So when it comes to this, trusting in the higher forces, when she had to start performing the same songs, because she's pointing out love is a losing game, Back to Black, oh, and she's pointing out Me and Mr. Jones. Yeah, Me and Mr. Jones, Love is a Losing Game. If you guys don't know those songs, oh man, her voice on that song, Love is a Losing Game. Wow. I wish I could play it now, but I know it will get copyrighted. And then Back to Black, which is probably the most famous one out of those three I just mentioned, because that, I'm sure that went like internationally everywhere. Those are some of the most, she's saying, the most vulnerable or most raw songs that she's written for herself. When she really was in the depths of her despair. When it came to Tears Dry Their Own, she was still in a similar way, but she felt more empowered as she was writing these songs. But the first three I just mentioned, especially Back to Black and Love is a Losing Game, like, she wrote those because she never thought she'd be able to kind of get out of it. Like, she wrote those because she thought like this is her last kind of letter to herself almost, or to this person that she's connecting to, because she showed me how she never thought she would break out of that cycle. That's why she wrote these songs. I can just hear the song in my head. Love is a losing game. Yeah, she's singing in my ear, sorry. So basically, she says that she had a lot of awakenings happening to her from a lot of these painful experiences that she was having, and it wasn't just lover based. Like, I feel like she's saying that a lot of people get it twisted when it comes to her reputation. A lot of people feel like she rose to fame too quickly, started getting into loads of drugs, had loads of crazy toxic back and forth twin flame style relationships, and then was taking so many drugs to deal with the pain, or to avoid the pain, or to try and get around the pain. And she's saying that that's not completely true, because she was dealing with a lot of her own issues long before she met anyone, long before she started writing songs. There was a lot of inner child wounds that she was definitely trying to overcome in a way that she didn't truly know how to. And she found it really hard to trust herself. She found it really hard to trust in her higher power and her higher consciousness a lot of the time, because when she would speak up, a lot of the time she was always met with a retaliation. So her way of kind of dealing with it, not just, like I said, the feisty kind of attitude, but also she felt like, because she basically felt like a large part of her had been shut down. She was definitely another type of singer in her past life, because she's showing me that in another life before, as we know her, Amy, she was definitely some sort of yeah, I felt like she was definitely some sort of blues or jazz singer. I felt like she was in a duet almost. No, okay, no, she's saying there were three girls, because I'm seeing saxophones, trumpets, trombones. I feel like she used to dance and sing every night in this show, almost like I want to say Broadway, but it doesn't, it's like a Broadway, but it's not Broadway. But she's saying it was in America, in New Orleans. That's like where a lot of her soul resides, New Orleans. And so when she came into this reality now, it was, it's like so much of her consciousness suffered for quite a long time before her physical self ever started writing music again, ever started performing music again. Wow, this sounds very synchronistic to my life. Okay, this is so weird. But basically, so she found it really hard to trust herself, because she felt like she'd been imprisoned so much, not just from the whole transition of coming back in, but also, and because she did have to spend some time on the other side. She's showing me she didn't instantly go from one life straight into Amy. She's saying that she spent okay, so she's saying that she spent the equivalent of what we would know in our human ego perception of time, because let's not forget here, time is an illusion. It is a man-made concept. There really is no time. Everything is now, whether you believe in multiverses or whatever. That's another video. But she's showing me that what we can conceive in our egos, in our minds, as time, it would be the equivalent of 5 years that she spent on the other side. Okay, I was just checking with her if it was still in another plane that we couldn't see, but she's saying definitely like on the other side. So she's saying it definitely in a much higher vibration. I feel like she went straight back to like whatever star she's truly from. She's mentioning Sirius. Okay, so so basically what I'm getting told is she has connections to Sirius. The Sirius connection feels very, very strong. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, star Sirius, planet Sirius, some people class it as a planet. I'm sure there's a lot of starseeds that are going to be like, hey. But then she's saying that she does have a few connections to Atlantean energy, like Egyptian energy, but a lot of her is Sirius. But then she's showing me a connection with the Arcturian Council, which is what I think she was working. Okay, so she's showing me that she has been working with the Arcturian Council every single time that she's come back in, or made the kind of contract to come back in into another human vessel to do another type of purpose, and it feels like so much of it has been connected to music, at least the last two lifetimes. And when I say two, I mean before she came in as Amy. Before she came in as Amy, she still had another at least 2 lifetimes that were very connected to her singing. But the last one, it definitely was, she dealt with a lot of competition, but also a lot of backstabbing, because I see that when she came in, this time, when she was making the plans to come in as the Amy that we know, she basically arranged that she would have kind of the platform to herself, so she could expand a lot more, because she'd learned a lot of those lessons from when she had originally been placed kind of in this like 3-woman band. There was a lot of trials and tribulations on that. I feel like I'm gonna have to go into a whole other video about Amy Winehouse's past lives, to be honest, because there's a lot of stuff that she's showing me, and I just don't think this the video is going to be so long already. I think I'm not trying to put out a 2-hour video right now because my internet will not upload that at all. But she's showing me that she struggled to trust in her own higher power, that she struggled to trust in her own divinity for quite some time. So when she started to have to reiterate her same message, her same energy through these certain songs like Love Is a Losing Game and Back to Black, she didn't realize how much the emotional turmoil would be to kind of relive those songs. And other times it would be a case of she just, like, honestly, she was kind of done. It was like she would have preferred to record her songs, make a music video for some of them that she really felt like needed to have a visual, perform the songs to when she felt like she didn't want to do it anymore, and then that would be it. Like, but then the whole, like, that's not how the music system works. It's like you can't just put out a song, do a video, do a few concerts, and then just skedaddle back into the studio or back to your house or back to your private life. You typically do have to go on tour, perform the same song 500 million times, and the emotions that she wrote when she was writing that song, she was very sensitive, very much. That's why I feel like I picked up on like a lot of empathy. Like I wouldn't say she's necessarily a full empath, but I felt like she was when she was calm and peaceful and in her own vibe and own space around people that she really, really resonated with, because she, like, if she didn't click with you, like, you would know. Let's just put it that way. If Amy didn't click with you, you would freaking know, and you would probably feel really awkward, because she couldn't fake it. Like, she just couldn't. It was just like, oh no, she couldn't fake it. So when she would have to reiterate the same energy all the time, it just became like this torturous cycle for her. And then on top of that, all the pressure that she had from all these people, especially women. She's showing me that a lot of women in this lifetime, as she is Amy, have been really degrading, derogatory. She didn't think she'd have to deal with that kind of energy again after the last lifetime with her being in this trio. Okay, so she's saying this is why she ended up having she ended up being quite defensive a lot of the time, even more so, or she would crack a lot of jokes, and the best way for her to do it was a lot of the time numb the pain or just get herself into a higher vibration without her having to necessarily do all of the like hard graft of, like, you know, doing all the nitty gritty shadow work. Like, she'd already done so many things, she'd already been through so many painful trials and tribulations going back and forth, that when suddenly she was thrusted into the limelight the way she was, it was like, okay, she has to kind of just be on all the time. And even when she wasn't performing, even when she wasn't doing the very small amount of interviews, because she stopped doing interviews for a while because she just got sick of them, she hated them after a while, but she basically she just wanted to be in a good space. But even when she wasn't performing, even when she wasn't doing those interviews, even when she wasn't out in public for loads of her fans and followers to see, she always felt that she had to kind of be on, because she knew that everyone's eyes, everyone's faces were always on her 24/7, and that started to really piss her off. Like, I mean, really piss her off. And she's saying that it made her not trust herself even more. And the only person that she ever did start to trust and trusted was Blake, her man, her love. Like, seriously, that was the only person. And obviously them two had a lot of stuff to deal with, which she doesn't really want me to go into, because she's saying that's not what this energy reading is about. Okay, so she's saying she wants me to focus on where she is now and what she's been doing. So she's showing me that she has been in this transition phase for quite some time. Okay, so she's saying she is arranging, as I said, she's in this plane that we can't really foresee. She is arranging that she is going to come back in one more time, she's saying to me. Okay, so she's saying that since she's passed away, which once again she's re-clarifying, this was an accident. She knows that she was not in the greatest position, so this might go against what other people may have channeled, just putting that out there. But she's showing me that since she passed, which once again she's clarifying, it was definitely an accident. She's clarifying with me that there actually was no foul play, like a lot of her supporters do theorize that there was, and, like, you know, the typical Hollywood placing you in this place, you know, they kind of make it out like a Marilyn Monroe. Like, a lot of people make it out like it's a Marilyn Monroe situation where she didn't really die of an overdose and all that stuff. Like, a lot of people theorize the same thing about Amy, but she showed me there was no foul play. It actually was her. She didn't realize okay, so I'm getting a lot of swelling on my throat. Okay, so basically she's just showing me that she kind of just like she jolted out of her body. It's like she took too much. Yeah, she took too much of a certain substance, and it's like as soon as okay, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this that would actually make sense to anyone that's not inside my head. Okay, so she's showing me that she jolted out of her body all of a sudden. She was kind of just doing her type of therapy. That's what it became at the time for her. It became this type of therapy. Like I said earlier, like the pain becomes your best friend. You kind of get trapped in this healing trap, or this numbing trap. And she knew that she was in this cycle. But she had been taking in basically the idea of her trying to revitalize herself so she could, it's like she's showing me that she wanted or was arranging behind the scenes to create more downtime for her, because she felt like too many people wanted too many things from her all the freaking time, regardless of if she was on your TV screen. So many people wanted stuff from her so much of the time. So many people wanted to control who she was with, who she was talking to, what she was doing, what she was eating, what she was wearing, who she was going to connect with. If she was like, it was just Okay, she's saying to me that she knows that her, like, she's saying this to me now, but the way that she's showing it to me, it's like, this isn't how she would have spoken about it if she was still alive then. Like, when she was alive, this is not how she would have spoken about it. But because she's already grown and has healed a lot of these wounds and is seeing stuff from a higher perspective, she's showing and saying this to me now. Like, in her new perception now, she's saying that she knows that her dad did the best that he could in his way at the time, but it just was not her way. It was not her way at all. She felt more imprisoned. She felt more secluded. She felt more like she wanted to rebel, and then she just kept on continuing this healing trap, this numbing trap, whatever you would like to call it. I'm sure you guys get the gist by now, because she's showing me that she liked to push the boundaries a lot, because she liked to just, she liked to just go out of her head. She liked to just get out of the Amy ego for a while, where all of these things are all around her and people are trying to get to her all the time. And she wanted to just go into a higher realm or another type of world where her spirit could just feel like she could just fly, like she could just be free, be fun, tap into her inner child, her creativity, her happiness, and just feel that kind of peace where she's not having to play this character that she somehow created through her grief in the first place. That is what she's showing me. So she was doing that usual thing, but then all of a sudden, literally her soul literally just like jumped out of her body, and it's like she could feel this numbing of the neck. I feel like her neck was swelling up or something. It's almost like it literally, the only way I can describe it, it's like a jolt coming in from back there all the way through to my heart, and like I've just been pushed out, but then this just feels like it's all swollen and all sore. Like I almost feel like I'm getting a close, like my throat's closing up, or I can't swallow properly. It's like in that instant, it's like she shut down so many of her chakra centers. Like it just felt like, and then just like literally come through like that, because she didn't expect to pass the way she did. And she didn't feel like she was going to pass. This wasn't planned. Like, this was not planned at all. She's saying that she knew what she had done the second that it happened. It was literally like the biggest shock of her life. Okay, she's saying that she instantly wanted to get back into her body, but she just... She's showing me that she tried quite a lot. She's saying to me that she tried quite a lot of times to try and get back into her body, but she knew it was too late. Like, it just didn't work. But she's showing me that she kept on trying. It's like, the way I'm seeing it, it's like she's trying, like, you know when you see in a movie or a show, you know, the invisible version of you, or the kind of transparent, or what is it, opaque? I don't even remember what the thickened thing is. Let's just say transparent. That transparent version of you, you know, steps out of your body. Oh, just like Insidious. Let's just use that as an example, because that's what's in my mind right now. Josh the dad, who's played by Patrick Wilson, he stepped out of his body on the chair when Elaine and everyone else is trying to get him into the fervor and everything, and he steps out and he's like, guys, this isn't working, and then he turns around and he physically sees his full-on human avatar sitting there. And the way that he's like, he can't get back into his body just yet, because he has to do his mission, he has to do his purpose, he has to go through this transformation, and it's only once he's finished his transformation is he able to get back into his body. She's showing me that she kept on trying to get back into her body the way it was, but it's like it never fully fit. It's like, yeah, she didn't know how to get back in. But okay, she's telling me that she suddenly felt cold, and then she felt like this heavy weight on her shoulders just like suddenly overcome her. for about 10 seconds, and then it just like almost like just evaporated through her being. Now don't forget, she's fully like from her consciousness, when she's still connected to her Amy Winehouse human avatar, she's showing me that her consciousness is still so connected to that, because this has just happened at this time. So for her, it still felt like she had some sort of energetic body, like the way that we see our bodies here. But she knows that she didn't. But like the way she's showing it to me, it's like her consciousness felt like she had a head. It's weird the way I'm saying this, so I hope you guys get it. She showed me that she, like, it's like she felt like she had her, still like had her Amy head, because her consciousness was fully tapped into that avatar. But when she felt this heavy weight come above her onto her shoulders for like 10 seconds, and then it just washed down her energetic body, but she knew that she didn't have a body anymore. I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. Like, it's not like Ghost Whisperer. It's not... I don't know if you're going to be able to understand the way I'm explaining it. Let's just fingers crossed that you do understand what I'm saying. But basically, she's saying that she did end up having being greeted on the other side. She's telling me that one of the people that she got greeted by early on was Ella Fitzgerald. Sorry, I had to question that myself. I'm definitely getting a yes on that. But I don't feel like that's the first initial meeting though. Sorry, my mind just went like, I was just fully listening to everything. It's hard sometimes when I'm channeling, because I'm like, wait, what have I actually said and what have I just been listening to? Oh. So she's saying that once she got greeted, she was really upset, to be honest. She was actually really upset, quite distraught, when she first realized that she couldn't get back into her body, because not only did she have to watch everyone, not only did she have to watch everyone deal with her body and find out she's saying she knew that Blake would be distraught, and so would her dad. She's saying there was one other person apart from those two that she felt that she was super close to, and she never wanted to let them down. She's also showing me, I don't know if it's a niece or a nephew. No, like a godson or goddaughter, or that's the energy I'm getting. I don't, like, I never physically looked at stuff about her death, so I don't know. I just don't know. So once again, in the comments, you guys are gonna have to tell me. But the energy I'm getting is like a niece, nephew, godson, goddaughter type of energy, like someone that I felt like she cared about deeply, that she did want to be a role model for, like that, like if but she really just wanted to be their best friend. I feel like she in her mind and in her heart, she felt like she was their best friend. She's saying she had a really difficult time watching people deal with her physical death, and she struggled with it a lot, because she suddenly knew that for however long, so she's showing me that not even however long, she's showing me that she instantly went into fear of and it's fear in a different way. It's fear in a way that we don't necessarily understand, but she's telling me that that's the right word to use for us to, like, consciously understand right now, because obviously, you know, when you're not in this human construct, you're completely and utterly, like, you're very much more your higher self, even more, but you still will go through transitions. There's still different levels, there's still different planes of existence, of consciousness, of vibration, and she's saying that basically it was like a type of fear that we would understand it, of feeling very confused, and not sure if or when she would ever be able to express herself through song and music ever again. She went through a transition of basically, if she'd ever get the chance to do this kind of life again, did she mess it up completely? Did it go completely wrong? Was she completely out of alignment and only started to go into her purpose and then didn't finish? Like, she's saying that a lot of these things were coming up, but she did have a lot of guardians and angels around her, and Ella Fitzgerald is definitely one of them. She's showing me that Judy Garland was also one of them. Yeah, it's like she had a meeting of souls that had come into this human construct before and done a similar role of singing and acting and performing, and being like the number one person in the limelight that loads of people wanted to be like, dress like, act like, all of these things. Judy Garland and Ella Fitzgerald is a huge part. And basically I feel like there's more though, but those are the two that are coming out clearest to me. Because I feel like there is some sort of like small child that greeted her or has been part of her initiation phase into this new transformation that she's been going through. It's just I can't quite put my finger on it. It's annoying me. Yeah, absolutely batshit crazy, but welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. The thing I can hear the most clearly and see the most clearly is Grace Kelly. And I don't think it's actually... Okay, they're showing me it's not actually Grace Kelly herself that was like the forefront of the energy that was coming forth to Amy. It was Grace Kelly's child. But Grace Kelly's in the background, like almost like watching her child do the purpose of helping Amy's soul connect and go through this transformation phase with Ella Fitzgerald, Julie Garland, and I feel like there's at least one more person. But yeah, it's Grace Kelly's child. That's what I'm getting. And these people have been helping her go through this transformation. And since then, she has been shedding a lot of these old layers, obviously old skin. She's been shedding a lot of those kind of human constructs of the things that were kind of holding her back in this lifetime as we know it. Because she's definitely gone through a massive awakening on an even deeper level. She has, I feel like in this lifetime, she definitely had a lot of karmic ties that she had to, or karmic cycles that she had to break through and also meet, so that she could experience and learn through them. And it feels like some of the lessons, I feel like she dealt with a lot of the karmic cycles and ties, and she did deal with and grow with and transform through a lot of them, but there's still a few that it felt like she started doing on the other side, is what she's showing me, that she was able to really come into that full knowledge and full knowing, where she was on the other side. Because when she was here in her human vessel, she tended to always get into that obviously defensive energy, as we were talking about. And if you guys can't see what that says, it says let go of the need to be right. And she's saying that since she's been on the other side, she's really been able to fully transform and unlock the magic within. And she's been able to gain a lot more wisdom about why she physically has come back in so many lifetimes, and why, if she was able or granted to come in again, why and where she would want to be and what she would do this time. Because she, as I said, she came from a musical background already, performance background, if you will. And she came from that trio, and then she came into it as a solo artist this time. So she's had a completely different flip over on both lifetimes. It's like the complete opposite on each lifetime. And so since she's been in this other plane of existence that we can't see, because she's showing me, since she's been in this other plane of existence that we can't see, she's been kind of keeping a watchful eye on not just her family members and friends, but also like how the collective consciousness is now, and trying to figure out when the best time it would be for her to actually come back in again, because she's showing me that she does want to come in back one more time. But she's also saying that, okay, so once again, I was just telling some more messages from Unlock the Magic Within, Magic Guardian. So she's showing me Ella Fitzgerald is seriously connected to Amy's soul. Like, Ella's soul is very much at the forefront of helping her go through this journey, like literally like how Elaine is helping, or is it Elaine, no, how Elise in Insidious is helping Josh go into the further, like, and she's the voice, the guide. That's how she's showing it to me, because in my consciousness that's how I'm understanding what she's showing me, because I'm very connected to that concept, that film, Elise, all of these things. Anyways, so she's showing me that wisdom's basically come full circle. Oh, it's coming full circle. I feel like she's still going to be, in our time construct, it feels like she's still going to be gone for maybe another 2 to 3 years. Okay, 2 years that she's telling me. She's saying that she's almost all the way there. But there's one, the collective consciousness isn't fully ready for her to be reincarnated in the way that she's going to be. That's still kind of very much, I mean, depending on how your idea is of fate, she's showing me that there's certain aspects of her reincarnation that are still going to be kind of up in the air for some time. Like the main basis of what she's doing is going to be different. I feel like she is going to come in again doing creative stuff, but it feels like the next time she comes in, it's going to be a male, and I feel like it's going to be a man. I think it's definitely going to be a man. She's only ever wanted to bring love and light to this world, and inspiration, and just fully be herself. When she came in from the last lifetime, from the kind of trio that I was telling you about, a lot of her past trauma obviously came in from that lifetime, and a lot of that helped her be more determined for her success, but then also at the same time hindered her when it came to learning how to kind of handle not just her emotions, but also her own insecurities that she had coming up, because it's like she almost wasn't fully used to the limelight from the last lifetime. So then when she suddenly got the huge array of everyone's eyes on her, it was like even more intense that she could even physically fathom. But she's been connecting a lot with her own divinity, because she's showing me that she's still on the other side right now. Sorry, she's not that she's on the other side. She's showing me that when she was still on the other side, it was it felt like it was literally forever. It felt like it was eternal. It felt like it was like the way we would imagine it. It would probably be like we would think that's our only existence. But then because she's been learning a lot more wisdom and going through the kind of stages of elevation and expansion and more ascension, on the other side, she's now been granted and allowed to come back closer into our state of consciousness by going into this plane that is all around us that we just can't necessarily see. She's showing me that happened at the end of 2018. It's now 2020, so she's showing me that it's happened at the end of 2018, that she was granted this permission to come closer to our consciousness, to not just learn more about where she's going to be kind of placed and what's going on here, but also because she's been doing a lot of the work on the other side. So now she's come back into this plane of existence. Let's hope that I said that in the right way, that you guys can understand what I'm saying. However, she's wanting everyone to know that she's definitely free of pain right now. If you guys can't see that, that's joy. She's definitely free of pain. She also saying that she didn't feel... Oh, she's saying that she didn't feel any pain when she did pass or transform, when she did die, her physical body. She's saying she didn't feel pain. It was more like jolts, like I said. Yeah, it was more like jolts and shocks that she felt. It wasn't painful. She's saying she knows that she's not going to do that kind of stuff in this lifetime that's coming up, because it's that kind of cycle and that lesson has cleared out. Like she's gone past that cycle at this point. Okay, so she's literally saying it for me. She's saying, and so it is. And if you guys want to know any more, then she'll see how she feels that day and if she wants to come back in. She's saying that okay, she's saying that she's cool. I know depending on what your beliefs are, she's saying that depending on what your beliefs are, it will depend on, you know, if you believe that energies and spirits have to use a lot of energy to connect with us through Ouija boards and stuff like that. And yes, that is the case in some realms, depending on where they're coming from. That's what she's pointing out to me. It depends on what kind of realm that they're coming from at the time. But where she is now in this plane of existence that's all around us that we just can't see because she's come back down from the higher realms into this closer state of consciousness, still much higher than ours, still much a higher vibration. So your third eye really has to be fully awake for that. But she's showing me that for her, because she's closer, it's not super exhausting. Well, the thing is, it's not exhausting anyway. They don't get exhausted, but it's like she's showing me she doesn't have to gather too much energy to the point where it's like, okay, like this. That's the way she's showing it to me, because when she was coming in and I was talking to her and I was calling out to her soul again before I started the second part of this reading, I was calling out to her. I probably chanted to her, I don't know, about 50, 60 times. But on the 40th, I feel like it was the 40th, maybe 35th, 40th time, she was like, okay, I can hear you, Soulstar, I can hear you, Soulstar, I'm coming in. And I could feel her energy traveling in. But I still kept chanting until she was like, I'm here. And she's showing me that even though, yes, she's having to gather up energy to come in and connect with me, it's not a case of her being exhausted or tired doing that. But she's showing me that she knows that channeling through me and how strong her essence and energy is actually quite physically exhausting for me. So she's telling me that I should stop this energy reading now, and that this will be enough information for any of her supporters or followers or just people that are trying to tap into their mediumship skills or clairaudient, or just spiritual energy awakening or whatever it is. She's showing me that it's going to resonate with a large group of people in loads of different sectors all over, hence why I just labeled all of those labels. And she's showing me that it's like, okay, you can stop now. Because like even for me, channeling energy in this way is very new as well. Whew. Okay, so thank you to Amy Winehouse for being here. I love your soul, your energy, your essence. She wants to say thank you to everyone listening and tuning in to these channeled messages. And she's saying that when it comes to her, if you are a fan or interested, when it comes to researching stuff about her and her life, always look more into your heart rather than just the hard cold facts, because she's showing me that if you look into your heart, you'll be able to really feel what the truth really was and still is for her life that she's had here as Amy. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I love you guys. Oh, I love you guys so much. I am going to probably make myself a cup of tea, ground myself for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, do some light language, and then clear the energy and come back here and probably do some Reiki and maybe a missing child report or... Okay, nice. So Spirit's telling me they want me to channel Judy Garland next. Okay. Okay, Spirit. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Remember to like this video, comment down below your thoughts, your feelings, your concerns. If I've channeled messages and it makes no sense to you from everything you know about her or facts or what you've read, then, you know, let me know. Let me know. I mean, half of the things you guys read in magazines and newspapers aren't the truth anyway, but let me know and see if anything resonates, if it doesn't. Anyway, so I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any uploads. Comment down below what you request to see next. I love. It's my birthday on the 13th of February. Whoop, whoop, whoop. 13 is a magical number. Forget what you heard. It is not bad luck. It is the best number ever. And it's the most divine feminine number. 13 chakras, 13 essences, 13 parts of the divine goddess woman that we are, the feminine energy, and masculine energies and toxic energies unfortunately had to tried their best to shut that down and still try their best now. So if you're afraid of the number 13, you need to research why it's actually good for you, and there's a large part of you that's not being fulfilled because you're holding yourself back. Anyways, that just came out, so I love you guys, and yeah, comment down below your requests and everything you want to see. I'm doing Reiki, tarot readings, missing children's cases, the list goes on. And don't forget to check out my other channels. I've just uploaded a new vlog on Nick and Neene's World, my vlog channel with my partner Nick, where it is from 2018 when we are going on a holiday in our van, Winston, and we just immersed ourselves into van life at that time. And as I said, I've got so many goodies coming for you. We've got like a whole year and a half worth of footage that we're editing, uploading. I just uploaded a new ASMR video. I'm whispering love songs and doing tingles and sensations and stuff like that. And I'm doing a lot more ASMR content this month as well and moving forward. And I've also just, by the time you guys see this video, there'll be at least 2 more song covers on my song channel. So if you guys want to check any of my other channels, because I've got 5 million, if you want to check any more of my other channels down below, they'll be all in the description. Of course, if you want any readings or healing, all of those links will be in the description as well. I am doing one-on-one consultations via Skype and WhatsApp and everything else now, so if you want to get up close and personal, you can. If you live in London or you'd like to fly me out somewhere, then of course you can do it one-on-one in person as well, because the No Retreat is fully coming back as soon as I physically move. There will be an announcement very soon, fingers crossed, touch wood, touch my third eye, touch my heart, that I am moving again shortly to a place that's going to be, it's calling me. It has been calling me for some time, but with everything going on in the world right now, obviously there's a lot of flight delays, some airports aren't leaving or going. It's just a lot of energy going on in the planet right now. And one film that I want to tell you guys to watch to maybe help you get, I don't know, it might activate some parts of you. The Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves. If you haven't watched Lucid Living TV's YouTube channel, check her out. Her name is Allset. If you haven't watched Beyond the Veils podcast, they're also on YouTube. Check their podcast out. And the books that I'm going to say is read up on totem animals, because I feel like totem animal energy and our totem animals that we all have around us that some of us don't even know we have, the energy of them are very, very potent right now, because they're definitely helping and guiding us into this new phase. There are so many huge shifts going on in the planet right now, so just be mindful of yourself, your awareness, be mindful of your emotions. And if you still haven't put those and implemented those practices into place that you know you need to do to help your own mental health and well-being, then freaking do it. Don't have any excuses anymore, just do it. I've been sick for I think 6 to 7 weeks. I was in absolute dire pain, ovaries bleeding, so many things going on, and it was horrific. It was horrific, but it got me into even more deeper practices, like having ashwagandha root, having a shoka bark, drinking 5 million pounds of hibiscus, or sorrel if some of you guys call it like that, and so many other things, including burning resin. And today I did Kundalini yoga, and I did another type of yoga, I can't remember what the title was, and meditation, fire breathing, just so many things. So I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I support you. You are financially abundant. You are prosperous. You are joyful. You are your greatest version now. No matter what shit you're going through, there really will be a better time coming. And when is that coming? Right here, right now, when you choose it to be so. Sometimes when you go into these horrible dark places, it is because you can emerge from the darkness even greater, but you'll never feel like that at the time. But I'm just reminding you, you are loved and you are supported. And so it is. Ashe, namaste. Bye guys.